All right. Well, this is a one-on-one interview with Vince Kelley. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Nice to meet you over Zoom, and then I'll see you after the show, when you're in Chicago.
So exciting.
Yeah, so I like to start off with someone's background. So let's just start with your background, then we'll move into, the show and all of that fun stuff.
Yeah, Vince Kelley. I am a Michigan native. So I'm from the Detroit area. Lived here my whole life, with some few little exceptions, school and different things like that. But I'm back here in Michigan. Currently, right now, I'm just finishing up my last week of school. I work for like the public school system here, working in the theater. So I'm in our theater's costume shop as I'm just putting on the final last touches on Footloose before I head out on tour.
Oh my gosh, Footloose, that's a fun one, isn't it?
It is, it is. I know, and the kids are so excited, which I am surprised about. I thought they were gonna be like this old material. I played Ren McCormick 21 years ago. Um, and I still had like some of my costume pieces, so I brought him in for the young man playing it now, and he was just like fascinated by the antiques and relics that I was letting him use from 20 years ago. And I was like, all right, watch your mouth there.
Oh, yeah, you've been in the business for a while, right? I saw like a
Yeah, yeah. I started when I was like 8 years old, and I just never looked back. So yeah.
That's so great. And so have you been to Chicago a lot?
Yeah, I mean, what's fun about the whole cast is that we're all from the Midwest in one way or another. So, Chicago, we go there all the time, go to Boys Town, go experience, different elements of the Windy City. So it's super fun to all come back and really have some time. I mean, when you go for a trip or a school trip or something, you're there for the weekend, 4 or 5 days maybe, but we get to like sit down and be with you guys for a whole month. So it's just going to be so exciting to like really experience the city like a native.
Right. Well, I noticed that Rue's birthday is during the run, so you should do a little candle for her.
Oh my God, we're gonna do a whole thing. Sing happy birthday. I don't know. Eat more cheesecake than usual.
Sure, sure. Is there any straight people in the cast? Is there any straight identifying people?
Unfortunately, we just added our first one. His name is Tommy Favorite, and he is playing Stan and Bert. So if there's one character that had to be straight, it's the perfect one to do it.
I love his name. That's super
I
cool.
know, I know. It's such a, it seems fake, but it's not. And he is the cutest little ally you ever did see.
Perfect, perfect. I want to see you girls getting treated well, you know.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. No.
Um, so tell me your favorite Southern expression. Do you have a favorite Southern?
Oh, I mean, I use Bless Her Heart on a daily basis, aside from the show. I mean, that is just a perfect encapsulation of like, cutting someone in the best way possible. And I also like um I really live by the motto of I've always relied on the kindness of strangers, which is a little Tennessee Williams. And I think Blanche and Vince really just assume that everything that need to happen is going to happen, and it's going to happen the right way because somebody will help you if you can't figure it out yourself.
Right. How did you discover you'd be good at playing Blanche? How did that happen?
Um, it's funny. The golden verse is huge. There's so many shows, which is so wonderful because there's the show's beloved by so many people. So the more people that can experience the Golden Girls, and especially if it's through the drag lens, we're all for it. I know Chicago has a wonderful, fantastic troupe at Helena Handbag with David and all that, and we're so excited. We want them to come see the show so bad. But here in Detroit, there was a local troupe that did some Golden Girls parody stuff, and a guy by the name of Richard Payton, who became like a dear friend of mine. He did this Blanche impression, and honestly, I'm just doing Richard doing Blanche because it was just over the top enough, and it was just a little tuned up, took the southern accent from 10 to 11 in the best way possible. So it's a real imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So I just kind of, borrow bits and pieces and then become my own. Really, for me, a big character thing, which is going to sound so gay, but the shoes. Like when I'm doing a rehearsal in my little tennis shoes, I'm like, moving around and I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get what it is. But as soon as I put the heels on, I'm like, and now I am Blanche Devereaux, and it's so dumb, but it really really helps me. I don't know why, just the way I carry myself and the way I move my body weight and stuff like that. It's in the heels.
Yeah, and I'm sure the costuming really helps because she always had those flowing, you know.
Oh yeah, what's so one of my favorite things? So I do the costumes for the show as well, and I a lot of eBay, a lot of sourcing. I mean, 90% of everything that we wear is vintage and like all reinforced, so it could be theatrical and stuff. But Rue McClanahan, for a short period of time, had a clothing line that was sold on QVC and some LA boutiques and stuff called A Touch of Rue. And my favorite piece in the whole show, my big flowy palm print nightgown, is from the Rue McClanahan Touch of Rue collection. So it's just so meta. I mean, it can't get any better than that. I'm wearing literal Rue McClanahan on my body.
I love that. That's so cool. You're
Yeah,
channeling her spirit.
exactly, in every way possible.
Yeah, I interviewed Betty White, but I never got to interview Rue McClanahan. And
How wonderful.
yeah, I caught her at a good time. But Rue, so whenever I had interviewed Leslie Jordan, Rue had died that day. And so I'll never forget Leslie Jordan going, well, that Rue McClanahan has passed away into another world, in that southern.
I know they had that Del Shore, Southern Baptist Sissies connection and stuff like that. I think that's so wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll just never forget that. That was such a moment. And then he was like, Betty White's gonna live forever. She almost
Yeah, I know.
um,
She almost did. I know her birthday was just yesterday, I think.
oh my gosh, they all
It
had
would have been 102.
and did you go to DragCon? I know we've done that a couple of years.
No, no, I have not. It's just really messed up. And another incredibly horrible thing is that we are going to be on the road for Golden Con. Like we're going to be on the other side of the country and not in the heart of Golden Girls, admiration right there in Chicago, which is a horrible oversight in planning. And I hope they rectify it.
So there's Golden Cons all over the place then, huh? I mean,
Oh, I think there's just the one in Chicago.
okay.
Oh, I'm saying we won't be there. We'll be doing our show somewhere else. They just little mix up with the scheduling, but I just think it's so cool. And I think it's so wonderful that Chicago, I know it's the promoters are based there. And I think it's so great that they're like, Miami, we're going to do it right here in Chicago. I think that's so great.
Yeah, Miami would have been a good spot though too. Huh.
And warm, but yeah, it's fine, whatever. The Navy Pier is cool too. Yeah.
All right. Is there any singing in the show? It's not a musical.
It's not a musical, but I mean, without giving too much away, there is a little song and dance, just so that you can get a real full theatrical experience as an audience member. There's a little showstopper, if you will.
Did you do you have a favorite musical? I know you got a lot of.
Oh my God. Ragtime, I think, comes to mind right off the bat. It's so sweeping. Whenever I hear the end of Act One, I just sob. I just lose my mind. I think that's one of my favorites. But I'm also like a big Golden Age girl as well. So like Gypsy is amazing. There's like rumors that Audra McDonald's finally going to do it, and I'm like, all right, so let me know where to be. Let me know where I have to go. I'm there.
Yeah. I've spoken to her. I really liked her. She is.
Oh
She,
my God, so good, so good.
Icon.
Literal history award-winning amount of Tonys.
Yeah. Would you have a favorite or worst part of doing drag that you've discovered?
Shaving. It's the shaving. Shaving for me. Yeah, I have like thick hair. I'm like Italian and Greek. So I have to shave. Like if we do a double show day, I have to like do a little touch up, or else it's just a full-blown 5 o'clock shadow. So yeah, it's the shaving for me, just the nicks and the cuts and like the ingrown hairs that I tried every chemical like known to man. I've talked to so many professional drag queens, and I'm like, do you have any secrets? And they're like, everybody's different. So it is, the unnecessary evil of the business.
Do you have to talk? I mean, do they talk?
Well, because I did the costumes, I made sure that I don't have to. I have some nice flowy stuff, but some people do have to. We like to call it like parking the car in the garage. So yeah, we take care of that.
That is funny. I love that. It's
Yeah.
hard to ignore. And so have you like RuPaul's Drag Race? I saw
Oh
you.
my God. Yes, 1,000,000% obsessed. Every season, it's like such a part. And like not only me, everybody in the whole cast. Like we're in the middle of a season right now and we're gonna be on the road. So we're like viewing parties, we'll do a room, we'll do my room this week, your room this week, pizza. Like we're very, very into it in all aspects. It's a fun little story. When we were just in Los Angeles, we were staying at a hotel that was directly across from the theater. And all the girls were doing a photo call early in the morning, and the guy playing Stan and Bert was leaving the hotel, and RuPaul was having breakfast at the lobby of our hotel. And Jason, because that's who he is, immediately went up to RuPaul and was like, "So the show that's across the street, we're doing Golden Girls, and you can come and we'll give you a free ticket." And RuPaul, in the most gracious way, was like, "What time is the show?" And he was like, 2 o'clock, and he was like, "Well, why don't you just put 2 tickets? And if we make it, we make it. And if not, like in the most gracious way." Obviously, they did not come to the show, but what a fun way to say, instead of just saying no, we're not coming, to say put 2 tickets and maybe we'll be there. Very RuPaul. So that was like our little run in. And when he came back, Jason was like shaking. He was like, "I just met RuPaul." He was beside himself. But yes, we love the show.
Is there a favorite moment from your show? Something that's different or new, or what would you like to tell people about it?
Um, yeah, I mean, what's different about the show in general is that it takes place in 2024. So it's like the show never went off the air. It's just been going ever since, but they changed from like cable television to like a streamer so that we can get away with a little bit, more stuff that you're not doing on cable television right now. So I just love it. It's like a fun time warp. The clothes and the set and everything is like exactly as you remember it, but then they're saying, they're like talking about things that are not from the late 80s, early 90s. So that's what I think is just fun from the jump. Like you're transported to a place that but it's like, it's like, I had this good one. I was thinking of it. It was you're meeting an old friend in a new place. And I thought that was kind of fun. That's what I like to talk about our show. But as far as like the individual performances, there is a lot of improv in the show, and you're never going to see the same performance twice. And we like to keep it fun and topical. Like if something fun happens in the news that day, we're going to find a way to put it in the show like that night. And we love just trying to like get each other to break and laugh. It's very like, a bloopers reel from Saturday Night Live. We're just always trying to like get the other one. So that's just like what keeps the show fun and fresh for us. We've just been given this wonderful controlled freedom to have fun and keep it fresh and new and greenlighting different jokes whenever we want. It's not like we just have to go and read our script as is, because that can get boring for a lot of actors.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So you must have done tons of homework on Blanche. You must know every.
Oh my God, no, the research is, I mean, as it's famously been said, an actor prepares, and we take it very seriously. So that's what, a lot of people think that it's just, and I, nothing against drag queens, but it's not just like a fun little drag show that we made up in a couple weeks. I mean, we've been practicing these mannerisms and, writing out the vocal dialect lines for our individual sayings and stuff, like in the Minnesota accents that Rose would do. Like people in this cast have like master's degrees in performance. So we take it very seriously, as silly and ridiculous as the whole thing is. We're very serious about our ridiculousness.
Oh my gosh, that's great. And is there some trivia about Rue that people don't know that you'd like to tell them?
Um, Rue was on Broadway. Rue was in Wicked. I was incredibly fortunate enough to see it. She was Madame Morrible. And I think, because obviously B. Arthur, very associated with musical theater in early career. She had MAME, the film, and all that stuff, and did a one-woman show and stuff. And Estelle Getty had that wonderful theatrical background with Harvey Fierstein. And I think that that's like my little fun one, because I'm like a true blue singer, dancer, actor. Like that's what I went to school for. That's what I like to do. So to be in the show where I don't get to sing, I like to associate that with Betty, or with Rue, that she also had this other passion, this other theatrical musical life, but it just wasn't what she's known for. It wasn't what people associate her with. So I think that's fun. We both have that little, in our back pocket.
Okay. What are you doing after the show? Is this how long is this run and how long?
After the show, I don't know. I think I'll be, I like to say that I'll be done playing Blanche when I'm old enough to finally play Blanche, because we're doing the show in Chicago, and then right after Chicago we hit the road. We're doing one nights, so we're like Madison, Wisconsin on Tuesday, Peoria on Wednesday, South Bend on Thursday. So we're just gonna kind of hit the whole country, and then maybe shortly thereafter there'll be another announcement of what comes next, and we're just gonna ride it until the wheels fall off.
I love that. Yeah, Rue was only 58 years old when she passed away. And so, or no, when the show was over, I guess,
When the
right?
show is over, yeah, she was 58. I know. I love those memes that it's um, like what people think a woman in 50 is, and it's like a picture of Rue McClanahan, and then it's like what today's woman in 50 is, and it's like Jennifer Lopez looking like she's 22. And so it's just like really funny. Or like the Sex and the City, thing where you're like, those women are older than the women on Golden Girls was. Like the Sex and the City women are older when they're doing like their new and just like that or whatever. But the way that the sensibilities are, it's like those were for ancient women, and now it's like, for young, fun, sometimes single ladies having a good time. So like how America's, ideas of women in that age shifted. And I think the Golden Girls had a big part of that.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I'm the same age as J-Lo, and I just turned 54 this week. So I'm like practically a golden girl. It's
I
crazy.
know, I know, I know. Could you imagine doing a Super Bowl show right now? I know, it's so crazy.
I mean, oh my gosh. Okay, and then so do you meet people after the show, or you don't wear drag like out of the show, right?
Oh, no, 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 no. 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 We do a fun meet and greet after the show, which is super fun. So we'll have to come up and please say hi. It'll be like with your little ticket. We do like a VIP meet and greet. So that's super fun, giving audience members a chance to like come on the set. It's almost like a set visit. Like you're at the live studio taping and you get to go on set, you get to sit on the couch, we take pictures with you. It's super fun, like meeting all the different people, moms and daughters and grandmas, and because the show's like so beloved multi-generationally. Or my favorite is like a straight man who you can tell did like either had no idea what he was being brought to, or like came very reluctantly, and then at the end he had like a wonderful time. I love that too.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, it sounds like great. I mean, sign me up. I'm ready to go. All right. Well, thank you for talking to me today, and look forward to seeing you, February 6th to the 25th at the Broadway Playhouse. And people can get tickets at BroadwayChicago.com. And it's been a pleasure. So much
Yeah,
fun.
definitely, thank you so much.
All right. Uh, okay.